Hi everyone, this is Kaylee and I'm going to present Nordic model uh, today. So, what is Nordic model? Uh, the concept of Nordic model first emerged in the 1930s to refer to what was believed to be the distinct political and social system of Denmark, Finland, Ireland, Norway, and Sweden. And it started in the 1930s under the leadership of Social Democrats, and the Nordic model began to gain attention after World War II, and it was a result of the Great Depression. And in a world here, inequality is on the rise alongside an increase in income. It becomes of paramount interest of anyone to find a nation or a group of nations which manage to have well-performing economic and social indicators. So this curiosity about finding a third model led us to the Nordic model. So uh, it is also called Nordic social democracy, and the economic structure is being defined as free market welfare state as well. So how this model it work? Let's see. So there are three key mechanisms of the Nordic economies. Those key features are distinct but interrelated each other. So let's see the first one. A high degree of compression of wage differentials is one of the key features of this model, and its centralized wage bargaining leads to low wage dispersion in the labor market, and for this reason, it lowers pre-tax labor income inequality. And the second one is a dynamic process of creative destruction and innovation. Creative destruction implies a high degree of compression of wage differentials, and it fosters creative destruction, and it's leading to a larger share of a highly productive enterprise, and in turn higher average labor productivity. And the third one is a high level of private welfare spending. So uh, a high degree of wage differential compression leads to individual preferences of high public welfare spending. So, as a welfare state involves a transfer of funds from the state to the services provides, as well as directly to individual. And according to Health Management Organization in 2010, in all of the Nordic countries, an average of 80% expenditure on healthcare comes from public sources. And at the same idea, in 2012, the Nordic countries ranked ahead of the OECD average in terms of public expenditures on education as a percentage of GDP, which stands at 5.8%. And according to the Gini coefficient, Nordic countries have the smallest income disparities with a coefficient of 0.25%. So how Nordic model works is that because of its history, a combination of shared history and societal development. So it is credited with much of its success. Unlike areas of that developed around the formation of large corporate-owned farms, the history of Scandinavia is largely one of family-driven agriculture. And also, the because of homogeneity of population. So the five Nordic countries have had a history of homogeneous population, and this means the most people had similar requirements, and any policy initiative would benefit a huge section of the society. So thereby making it easier to push through the reforms. And uh, the other one is collective mentality results in a citizenry that trusts its government. So the result is a nation of small entrepreneur enterprises directed by citizens facing the same set of challenges. Solutions that benefit one member of the society are likely to benefit all members. So this collective mentality result uh, in a citizenry that trusts its government because the government is led by citizens seeking to create programs that benefit everyone. But on the other hand, there are challenges, some challenges. Um, the first one is rising costs of welfare services pressure to its sustainability. So the central to the Nordic model is the welfare state under which essential services such as healthcare, education, daycare, and old age care, etc., and those are provided by the state. And the cost of these services is financed mainly through taxes, and the quality of these services has to be top notch and not just meet the minimum standard. So it is one of the pressure to its sustainability. And also, uh, there is the largest concern, uh, aging population. So in terms of aging population, a large base of young taxpayers and a smaller population of older residents receiving services is the ideal scenario. So as the population balance shifts the other way, benefit reductions are unlikely outcomes. And another concerns that challenge uh, this model is that influx of immigration. So Scandinavian attracts a notable influx of newcomer. These new arrivals often come from nations that do not have a long shared history of making decisions on behalf of the common good. So these new arrivals present a significant burden to the system. These are the challenges that prevent that delay or prevent uh, the model's sustainability, its sustainability. So let's move to the taxation. So taxes are generally divided into the following: income, profits, and capital gains, social security, goods and services, and property. So, since the government depends upon public funds for carrying out different social welfare schemes, the tax rates, especially personal tax rates, are comparatively higher than in other European and OECD economies. So this is the personal income tax rates in 2020. So except Norway, uh, the rest of the Nordic countries rank top 10 uh, highest income tax rates in 2020. So the tax burden on personal income is high compared with other regions, but it is notably high in Denmark, where is it often the highest in the OECD. In 2020, except Norway, the rest Nordic countries ranked top 10 highest income tax rates. So, but corporate, let's say business income tax are below the European Union average in all the Nordic countries, except Norway, where it is 2.5 times the EU and OECD average. But this partly reflects various petroleum taxes. So, uh, there is a question, how come people with low or medium incomes, uh, people while paying high tax rates are this happy? So the answer is the citizens willingly choose to pay higher taxes in exchange for benefits that they and their family member will get to enjoy. So the result is publicly funded services such as healthcare and education that are uh, such high quality, and private enterprises no reason to offer these services or room to improve them. So this mindset remained intact as capitalist enterprises developed. And since the Nordic model take care of education, pensions, and health, a tax rate is not that terrible. So since you have all, the idea is since you have all your basic needs, it's already covered, and that's precisely what the World Happiness Report shows. So to be conclude, one thing is certain: the welfare state is here to stay, though its current form might change with time. This is because the welfare state has wide support among the general population in all of the Nordic countries, and political parties which support the welfare regime are the ones who usually come to power. So it will be very difficult for any party in power to cut back on the welfare state and still wish to stay in power. So for the most part of the concept has a positive connotation, but not always. This being dependent upon context and only depends on the eyes of the viewer. So neoliberals and all Marxists seem to share a skeptical view, while social democrats gladly than most bring out a strong positive view. Thank you.